Hi, this is Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart, and this is an early session update for Wednesday, October 21st, 2020. We're going to go over in this order. We'll look at the broad markets real quick, primarily QQQ. Then an update on gold and silver. I've cut back on my updates there because they've been chopped around a range, but we do have some technically significant events to note today on both gold and silver. I want to do another update on coffee, natural gas, really the same things I've been looking at lately. Coffee, natural gas, and an update on that DNKG short trade. I think now it's setting up for an actual long trade. I mentioned the other day, probably a good time to book profits, so I'll do an update there and show you what to look for on that one. Okay, starting out yesterday in the QQQ, in the late session update, I at the very end of the video, I mentioned QQQ broke out above that 285.79 level, and it did. But at the same time, that was I probably should took a look at NQ, which we'll do right now. Now that still remains a decent level for QQQ, although we had really, if you put another line there, which I should have done, even though that was the bottom of the Monday before last gap right here. That's the gap Monday before last. We did have a couple reaction lows right here, and what I just did, that line I just covered these candles right there as well as these right here extend out, and that's where that candle got capped. And let me tell you why that got capped. So again, I kind of just looped over to QQQ at the end of the video and said, okay, there's a breakout. And again, it was above that level, but what I didn't do and should have done is looked at NQ, and this was the same NQ chart I've had, same levels. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Let me put it on bars. They show a little better. On NQ, the level was and still is 11,741.50, and I would say you want to look at both NQ and QQQ. It's a well-defined level with support right here, and it has been with support back there, and it's been resistance. So there's the trading range right here that we're in on NQ, and NQ is currently at the top of the range. So TA 101 says you either wait for a breakout, and then if so, it's not a hard target, but let's just call that a soft target around that 11.19, 11.919, 11.920, we'll call it, if we get a breakout. Otherwise, a move back down, a rejection here would take us back down to the bottom of the range. Which way I'm leaning, hard to say. We're going to have Tesla, I believe, come after the bell today, but I'm slightly leaning this way right now at this point in time, because again, we're coming off some extreme overbought readings. We have divergence. There it is, divergence right here on NQ, and that kind of leans me going to that way today. And I'll also say this: as far as the broad markets go, I'm in micro trading mode. Micro trades are very short-term swing trades. They can even be day trades. What a micro trade, is game little 1-2% bounces off support into resistance, reverts, goes short, take profits. That's the world of micro swing trading, and again, they may last a few hours or a few days, anywhere in between. That's where I think, at least I feel a little bit better now than swing trading on the indexes. That is because of the the elections coming up. All right, so that's the NQ. There's the levels to watch. We're starting to crack through there now, and again, that would be bullish if we can get a sustained breakout there. But as I like to say, resistance is resistance until that's taken out, and you'll definitely want to see a solid 60-minute close above. That one was a little whipsaw right there. And here's a quick look at ES. These are the S&P 500 futures. What stands out to me, again, we're coming off extreme oversold readings on the 60-minute chart. That's about 18, a little bit of 18 on the RSI. You can see when we get to or near that level, well, I'll just circle and you can see what prices did after that and then decide if you want to be long or short, following those readings. So there they are. Pretty good history, even in downtrends of a bounce. So again, that's what leans me towards a little more upside here, maybe today, possibly throughout this week. There's a downtrend line that is likely to come into play if you're trading ES, and you might be able to replicate that on SPY. Sometimes the trend lines match up, sometimes they don't. It all depends on how many reactions that the futures had in the after hours, or overnight sessions. But there it is. There's your comparable trend line. You don't see the positive divergence on the 60-minute chart of SPY. Again, it's you're going to have trades that don't show here. This is 9:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. trades, and the futures are virtually around the clock. But you do have a pretty deep oversold reading there on SPY. All right, so that's the broad markets. Let's move on to, let's talk about gold and silver. Again, I'm going to use futures, but you could trade GLD or SIL if you're into it. Let's see. Let me look for my GLD or GC futures. Got them here somewhere. Bear with me. There it is, GC. Okay, I got a lot of futures charts running here on different monitors. All right, GC pointed out most recently we've been kind of grinding around for quite a while. The primary trend, or at least intermediate term trend off the highs back here in early August, is certainly bearish. You can see, gold stair-stepping lower, or you can just look like this. Primary trend is bullish, so that's, the longer term trend is bullish, intermediate term's bearish. I view this as a correction. Remain longer term bullish on gold, and this is a breakout right here. So I highlighted recently this symmetrical triangle pattern in gold futures GC, which we're looking at here on the 60-minute time frame, and we have a breakout. It is not a very impulsive breakout. I wish it was a little more impulsive. Now we could build on today's gain. So as long as that breakout holds, I can say that's a buy signal. It's not a hard buy signal. Again, I'd like to see it a little more impulsive, but we did break the triangle, so you can make a case for an objective long entry with a stop below the bottom, below the recent lows right here, maybe about 9. Give it a little room, 9.15 or so for a tight stop. Target, well, you do have a reaction high where I'm putting the crosshairs there about 9.36, but this would be my first target zone right here, about 9.45 to 9.51. And quite possibly more if gold can get some traction. Let me give you a second line right here. I just saw there's enough reactions here at this point right here, and some reactions here and back here to give that a next target there about 1982. And then silver likewise is also broken out, so that's what I like about this. You have both gold and silver breaking out above their symmetrical triangle patterns on the 60-minute chart. Silver, you do have a previous reaction high here, but this would be my minimum swing target right now should this breakout stick, 26.22. Next up, coffee. Coffee continues to hang in there, not showing me yet really what I want to see, but as I mentioned, it made a very slight, just a marginal new low, slight undercut of that previous low, and in doing so extended the negative or the positive or bullish divergences that were already in place at that recent low right here. So far we have even a larger divergent low, which potentially sets the stage for an even bigger rally. Maybe put a downtrend line like this. We've been already slicing through this 108.60 level so much lately that I don't consider it very significant anymore. It's still resistance, but we need to power on through there with conviction. And again, right now, look, I've said the other day I wouldn't add to it. I said that here, because I didn't like what I saw. So I said if I didn't have a position, I wouldn't be adding. Now I can make a case, not a hard case either, because again, I'm not crazy about the price action so far, but the bullish setup is definitely there. Look at this big divergent low right here. We went long on that one as an official trade right after that divergent low. Caught most of that rally, got out at the top and hit that T3 final target. So just looking at the charts, and now that we're so close, like I said before, I would allow a little slight cut below that previous low, and that's what happened. So I view every trade from a risk reward perspective. Although I can't put the highest probability this trade will play out, I can tell you the risk reward is very attractive. In other words, minimal downside below a stop below the recent lows compared to the upside potential should these divergences play out in coffee rally and potentially take the next leg up in a longer term early stage bull market action. And just to flip back to it, so far nice, we're starting to pop above that level on NQ. So again, these would be your targets here, and that same target I gave you on QQQ. If this breakout sticks, which like I said, I'm favoring this time around based on what I covered earlier. Back to, well, let's look at natural gas, NG. Show me everything I want to see so far. I mean, this has just been a nice one, starting out with this bullish falling wedge, positive divergence, breakout back test. Then we've set up this uptrend line here, and I said you can buy pullbacks to the trend line to go long, objective long entries. You could also use your stops, set your stops somewhat below that if you're long. And then we took out that secondary trend line. That was the most recent buy signal. So all these here, I'll do it this way. When you look at it this way, all these are objective long entries. Breakout, back test. Once the trend line established, any pullbacks to the trend line, breakout above the trend line, and then we broke out above that 2915 resistance, and now that puts us clearly above that level and opens the door. Doesn't guarantee it, but opens the door for a move up to the next target there at 3146, and potentially maybe these other targets as well. So so far price action is good. In the very near term trend, like I'm showing you here, is bullish. Other proxies for trading natural gas, you can use this ETN UNG. I've already shared these price targets before, and you can also use a QG. That is the futures, the mini contract. So it's the same price levels on that NG chart I just showed you. You could target the same levels, but you're using a smaller leverage factor because NG, depending on your account size and how diversified you are, you may not want as much exposure to natural gas as NG gives you, because all futures are leveraged. QG just uses a smaller leverage factor than NG. Okay, last but not least, DKNG. This one was highlighted as a short trade back here with an entry to be triggered on the break of the trend line, which it did. Stock fell about 30 or 29%, and these are, this is a daily chart. We have an uptrend line that is coming up on right here, potential uptrend line. You also have some reaction highs there. Yes, on this chart, and that is support. Let me actually add that level there. There should be a line right there. There you go. A couple reaction highs and reactions from above right there. So coming up on the $41 support, next support 38.23. But when I look at this 60-minute chart, well, let's stay on the daily chart real quick. What I see on the daily chart is, the RSI came from extreme overbought readings. We're not oversold on the daily time frame yet, but sometimes you don't get oversold in a bullish trend. The stock is in a bull trend. Make no mistake about it. Gambling is here to stay. And here's what it looks like on the 60-minute chart. So whereas the other day I said, I think it's good time to take profits. Now I'm looking at this one as a long candidate. It's not an actionable trade yet. This is a trade setup. There's your downtrend line on the 60-minute chart. There's your positive or bullish divergence right there that tells us a trend reversal is likely. And this was support right here. I think we had a momentum fueled overshoot, a lot of downward velocity here, bouncing above it. So it's pretty simple. A pop above both 44 and the trend line, because they come in together, should open the door up. Minimum target's 48. That's 4 points on a on a $44 security. So that's about 10% there, or close to it. And these were targets on the way down. Let me give you additional targets now on the way up. Next one would be, I think about there. So say 48 and 52, round numbers, and maybe all the way back up here to this 55-ish level. I'm going to make that more of a zone. Because there's a gap right there, so we'll call that, put that line right about there. Zoom in real tight. What does that give us? About 50, we'll just call it 55, round numbers, 48, 52, and potentially 55 if we can get some traction going in DKNG. So those are your trade ideas for today. We'll wrap it up. It's only been a 14-minute video. Let me get it out to you guys, and if I see anything else, I'll let you know. This has been Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart. Have a great day.